faster we get out of here, the faster you can warm up. My water's still very cold.
Mayor, make
Do you need a shawl?
Oh, that's true. The Farragut flag probably would be okay.
Might be a struggle when I do the
I'll fight you for it.
pledge allegiance to me.
Farragut flag. You can't use the U.S. flag, but you can use the Farragut flag. What's that? I pledge allegiance to me.
Everybody ready? I'm going to go ahead and call to order the Farragut Beer Board meeting for April 23rd, 2015. We just have two agenda items. The first one being the approval of the minutes from March 12th of 2015. Any comments or corrections?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. We have, move on to item number 2 here, for a beer permit approval of Class 1 on-premises permit for the following: Leños and Carbone Latin Cuisine, 11151 Kingston Pike. Did I do okay with that? Thank you. I went back and practiced with them.
I heard you back there. I was going to give you a hard time. Yes, sir. As you stated, the purpose of this agenda item is to approve the Class 1 permit for the Leños and Carbone Latin Cuisine, and all the permit information is in order, and the applicants are here tonight, and the motion is to approve the Class 1 beer permit subject to obtaining a certificate of occupancy.
Do you have any comments you want to make to the board, or you're good? Okay. I know there's one question. Where exactly is it located?
Yeah, where are you
I didn't
located?
have it.
It's to the left of the old Mother Earth Meats.
That's what I thought. Okay. Any other questions the board has?
Old
on it?
mother, what?
Mother Earth Meats?
Oh, are they gone?
Oh, never got a chance to get over there.
Any other comments or questions from the board at all? Okay, is there a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the Class 1 on-premise beer permit for Leños and Carbone Latin Cuisine.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. That will bring closure to the beer board meeting for this evening. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Welcome
Welcome.
to our community. And thanks for the language lesson. We did pretty good, didn't we?
Everybody wanted to turn saying it tonight.
Go ahead, you want to now, don't you? We'll all be doing it on the way home, I know that.
Yeah?
Supposed to be a frost. My wife wants me to bring a plants in to cover everything up tonight. Yeah. She just planted several different things. All right.
Couple of nice people.
Pull the breaker on the AC?
Hey. It's an idea.
Bud's
That
working
was
on
it.
it. I don't know.
Vote
he
for a
looks like he's
snowball
working on
fight
it.
is what I was hoping.
Right, it's 7 p.m. This is the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting for April 23rd. We'll start by rising for a moment of silent prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States
First item is approval of the agenda. It's rather short, maybe. There a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And I'm going to let you know that I'm going to exercise some mayoral what's the word?
Restraint?
I'm restraining right now, but I'm going to exercise some prerogative to call for an informal meeting following the end of this meeting to discuss some events of this week. So now we move on to the mayor's report. I don't have anything major to report tonight. Anybody else have anything? You got anything, David?
No, sir.
No meetings upcoming. By the way, everybody remember that we've been invited to Walmart tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, for their new, I guess they've revamped the store or something. So it's another ribbon cutting.
We're also receiving a grant there tomorrow, Mayor.
Yeah, they're going to be presenting a grant to the town, so
That for
good
sustainability.
opportunity. Approval of the minutes from March 26th.
I've read the minutes and find them to be in order and move that we approve them.
Second.
Well, I was gone, so I wouldn't want to, you were gone.
I was gone.
I'll second. Now, can they vote? All right, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item is ordinances, and there's one here for first reading, ordinance 15-04, which is an ordinance to rezone portions of Lot 3 of the Smith property, portions of parcels 59 and 59.07, tax map 152, located at 11739 Turkey Creek Road, and portions of parcel 15, Group B, tax map 1531, located at 735 Anchor Villas Lane, from R1 to R1 OSMR and R1 OSMR to R1. Rackley Engineering applicant.
Yes, sir. Certainly a large heading for a very simple request as staff sees it. Back in February, Planning Commission approved a subdivision plat for Briarstone subdivision in the Smith property to the west. Basically, what this request consists of is making the zoning lines match those new property lines. Certainly a minor amendment as we see it to the zoning map. Like I said, basically to ensure that the property lines are following the zoning lines, the Planning Commission unanimously approved or recommended approval of Ordinance 1504 at their meeting, and staff also recommends approval. There haven't been any changes to Ordinance 1504 since first reading.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Town Administrator's report.
Mayor, I think actually, we've got the first reading of an ordinance right after that for a budget amendment. Item 6B.
Ralph, go to the front page. Go all the way to the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
No, other way. Other way.
What are you asking for?
There we go.
Oh, I see. Oh, geez. Okay, I'll say it again. You know I can't hear, but now you know I can't see. All right, so this is ordinance 1506, ordinance to amend the ordinance 1406, FY 2015 Budget Equipment Fund.
Good evening. This request is coming to you for an amendment for the 2015 Equipment Replacement Fund budget. We had allocated $60,000 in the budget to purchase a bucket truck this year. And we've been looking for a bucket truck, a good portion of the last winter months. And what we're finding is the trucks we're looking for, there's an engine classification, which is a diesel, that's a 6.2 and a 6.4 liter engine. Both of those motors, the 6.2 comes in a much older truck, which is the one we have right now. The 6.4 is a modified engine that they've had all kinds of problems with. And for us to get beyond that engine size, we need to get a 2010 or newer truck. And so what we've been doing is looking for those trucks in a Dodge or a Ford, either one. And so in studying all over the place, and it's hard to find used bucket trucks. There's only a couple of companies out there that actually have them, or if you go to a live auction, which we can't do, you might run into one. But what we're finding is it's going to take a little bit more money. And so what we were asking for was a budget amendment of $10,000 to add to the equipment replacement fund so that we could purchase a truck. We have several in Texas that we're looking at, and that's the closest ones that we can find that are in this price range that we're looking at. So we're asking for a $10,000 budget amendment.
What's the new one cost, Bud?
$125,000. And that would be without like the light bars and the strobes and different things. Those you add on. These used trucks already have most of that on them. And this truck is just used. We changed traffic signal, LED traffic signal modules on the traffic signal lights. There are banners that we do 6 times a year. We change all the banners. If we get into a tree situation that's about 35 feet to 40 feet in height, that we can just trim or something like that, we'll use it for that.
Did you say this was a 2010?
It needs to be I haven't picked a truck.
Oh.
It just needs to be a 2010 newer so that we get this 6.7 motor, which is a very reliable motor that should last. I mean, we should be able to keep this bucket truck. The one we have now is a 2000, and so we bought it used, and we've had it 11 years now. And so this one, if we buy a newer one, it should last us 15 to 18 years if we, with that motor in it. And
Well, the one thing about your department, you guys manage money unbelievably well, and you take good care of the equipment, so I would certainly make a motion for approval.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
thank you.
All right, down to business items, and the first is the appointment to the Community Health Council.
So the purpose of this business item is, as you said, to appoint the member to a 3-year term on the Community Health Council. The Board of Mayor and Aldermen approved Ordinance 12-18 in 2013, which established the Community Health Council and aligned Farragut, Knox County, and the City of Knoxville to improve the community health. One member is to be appointed by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, and one is being appointed by the mayor. Tonight, your group is going to be obviously appointing the one by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. Enclosed in your packets are applications from Dale Collins and Karen Tyndall, and I believe both of them are here for questions or to introduce themselves to you and go through their forms. Any questions you have for them?
Well, why don't we hear from them first?
Start with Dale Collins then.
Good evening. I am Dale Collins, and I think you've been given some biographical information on me. I won't go through all that and bore you with it. My primary interest, obviously, was in reading the ad that was in the paper. Said if you have an interest in the Community Health Council appointment, then so indicate, and that's what I did. My background is healthcare administration in the states of Alabama, Arkansas, and Tennessee. Most recently as the president and CEO of the Baptist Health System of East Tennessee. And I retired from that position in about 2005 and then went to work basically as a church administrator at First Baptist Concord, and saw that construction program that they had ongoing at that time through, and then I retired from that. So I have an interest in healthcare, have an interest in improving the health in our community, and I would therefore solicit your consideration for that appointment. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Anybody have a question?
Background, no, the only comment I'd say is your background is amazing, so it certainly isn't boring.
I mean, no.
I do want
Thank
to
you.
applaud you and everyone that offers their time to serve our community in any way, shape, or form, because we're very grateful for it, so thank you.
You bet. Any others?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And sorry, I'm an aerobics instructor. I'm used to having it a little bit, a little different microphone configuration. So good evening, gentlemen. I'm Karen Tyndall, and I've been a Farragut resident for 20 years. And again, I read the article in the paper and was interested in the Community Health Council because I just really enjoy serving the community. I've been with the YMCA for 20 years, so servant leadership is something I'm always interested in. Love the Farragut community, got on their website, was familiar with a lot of the other organizations involved in the Community Health Council, and was just very interested in seeing how all the organizations, the diversity in there, of getting everybody together from Knox County, the city of Knoxville, and the town of Farragut together to kind of make our community a better, healthier place for everybody. So that's kind of where my interest lies. So. All right.
Questions?
I understand you're Girls on the Run, you're participating in that in what way?
Actually, I was the director of Girls on the Run. I resigned from that position in December of 2014. So I'm at home renovating my house. I took a year off of work to renovate my house, which is an entirely interesting process. Yes, I know. I'm like, I really cannot wait to go back to work. But I committed to my husband that I would stay home and do this. So I'm home with hammers and all of that all day long now.
And you left out expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm learning managing budgets and all of that. It's very fun. So.
Good to hear we approved a beer permit tonight.
I did, exactly. I know, and I noted where that was. So, but they're not open yet. But thank you.
Thank you. We know
Thanks
you'll
for
bring a
your
lot to the council.
All right, so we elect one and appoint one.
No, tonight you're just appointing one. There was
Appointing one.
the person you had appointed back, I think 2 years ago, had resigned from that position, so this will be a one-year term on the
Oh,
council.
so, and then
And
the
then,
regular term is what, 3?
yes, 3 years. I think it's next year, obviously, 3-year term. Next year, both positions will be back up again. That's how I understand it anyway.
Okay.
So we have one slot right now.
One slot for right now, for this year.
Awkward moment of silence. Well, I want to say this, as I said earlier, I applaud everybody that puts their name in for this. And, you know, this is, for us as a group up here, if we had 2 slots, we'd have both of you put in there. First time I've met either one of you, the first time I've had the opportunity to read about you, and you both certainly would serve well. What I would like to do at this time, with all due respect to the other individual, is nominate Dale Collins based on your background and what you've done. So that'd be my recommendation at this moment.
I have a little experience in this. My wife is on the council, and I know there's a lot of high-level people participating currently on the council, health council. I think a lot of the planning for the past year or two has been at a very high level, and I think it's now getting to the point where we need to bring it down to the community level and implement it with our local residents. And Karen, I think you have some areas of experience in that area where you've worked with Girls on the Run and YMCA training, and so I'm kind of looking at both parties here. I can see the need for both of them being on the council as well. So I'm torn a little bit, but Karen, could you just tell me a little bit more about what you did with Girls on the Run? And I think you did something else with, was it Farragut High School fundraising or?
Well, yeah, you want me to come back to it?
Yes.
Girls on the Run it's a national nonprofit, and I ran the local organization here. Girls on the Run, we serve about 600 girls a year. It's a after-school program that focuses on youth development with girls 3rd grade through 8th grade. So we take the girls in the fall and the spring through a 10-week program to build their self-esteem through the sport of running. So they meet with mentor coaches twice a week after school, learning life lessons, anti-bullying, healthy eating skills, self-esteem lessons. I mean, simple things like giving not just healthy snacks like a banana, but, writing positive messages on the banana, like you're a superstar. I mean, really kind of capturing the girls at that really young age so that they build their confidence in themselves. And all the while they're training to run a 5K. So at the end of the 10 weeks, Girls on the Run also puts together a 5K run for them. And at the 5K run, they run with a running buddy. So it's either a parent or a community volunteer. The town of Farragut let us was one of the sponsors of our 5K. I worked with Sue to do the 5K 1 year here in Farragut, which was great. We did it from West Bicycles. So, I mean, it was near and dear to my heart. I was the director. I started as a volunteer there. My daughter grew up with the program. So that was my involvement with Girls on the Run. I was the executive director for 2 years. They only have one paid staff person. It was a great experience. I had to step away from it because my mom was living with me at the time, and she had cancer. She got a diagnosis of cancer, and I just needed time to treat her cancer. So it was kind of bittersweet at the time, but life kind of happens. But so that's in being with the YMCA. I knew how to run a nonprofit. So I've like I said, I'm an aerobics instructor. I've been with the YMCA for 20 years. I'd been a wellness director for them for 12 years before I took that position. So and then my kids have all gone through the Farragut school system. So I've been on the Farragut football. I've got 2 sons and a daughter. And I've been on the Farragut Football Booster Club for the football team for 4 years for my older son, and now I'm finishing 4 years for my younger son. He'll be a senior this year. So I've served as everything but the president. I just don't think a mom should be president of a football booster club. So I've done the fundraising over there for them. Everything from their football gala type things. Last year we did a garage sale, the 4th of July parade, to their field cleanup days, to going out and painting the field at night, before the home games, that kind of thing, to feeding the team. That's what the Booster Club does, is just make sure Coach Courtney and the boys have everything they need, because a lot of people think that high school football is just this big money-making thing, and Knox County's throwing a lot of money after them, and it's really not like that at all. We don't even, the concession stand is run by all the other alternate sports, so they really do need a strong parental booster club to really run that. So, I guess in my, just being a parent, I've just learned to be a servant leader and really look, for avenues of, where can you serve your community? Where can you serve your family? How can you best serve that? So, I don't know if that answered your question, but.
It does. Thank you. Let me ask you one other question. Yeah. I understand you're a fitness instructor at the Y as well, right?
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, part-time now. Like I said, to get away from the house for about 2 hours a day. And that's where I get my hot water and things. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm having a little trouble understanding the report to the Board of Mayor and Alderman says that one member is to be appointed by the Board of Mayor and Alderman and one member by the mayor. Is this the one to be appointed by the mayor or the one to be appointed by the board?
This is the board,
Okay.
this is the board appointee. That's just kind of the history of the health council task for the town of Farragut.
Right.
Yeah, this is just for the board appointee.
So we have I believe Alderman Honkin has made a nomination. Do we need to vote on that then?
We don't have a second yet. We just have the motion for Dale Collins.
Okay, well, I'll second that motion, so we're prepared to vote.
Which one now?
But
Dale?
we're voting for one person at a time, is that correct?
If the motion is for Dale Collins to be appointed in a second, so you're voting for Dale Collins at this point. If you have 3 votes, then obviously Dale would be appointed for the next year's term. If not, then you need to make another motion for Ms. Tyndall. But that's the motion on the floor right now.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
I heard 3.
Roll
Someone-
call. Did you
do a
hear
roll
3?
call vote.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah, I heard 3. Alderman Honkin.
Aye.
Alderman Markley.
No.
Alderman Pinchuk.
No.
Mayor McGill.
Aye.
Break the tie, Mayor.
Get to flip the coin.
Oh, boy.
No. You have to wait.
Why they pay
You have to
us
wait
so
for Vice
much.
Mayor LaMarche.
Call the roll again.
You want to revote?
Well, we got a tie.
You're right.
Have a tie.
You're right.
All right. Alderman Honkin.
Stick with aye.
Alderman Markley.
No.
Alderman Pinchuk.
No.
So then do we have a motion? Does anybody want to make a motion in the affirmative? Or is it just automatically?
By default, will be automatic. We'll just.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be Karen Tyndall to the Health Council.
Congratulations and welcome.
That was very clear.
Don't go away, because next year we'll be appointing somebody else.
Thank you, Dale.
And we'll have maybe somebody else sitting here too. Be an even number of people voting. All right. Approval of bids for contract 2015-11, Mayor Bob Leonard Park.
The current playground at Mayor Bob Leonard Park was constructed during the summer of 2002, and it's at the end of its life cycle. And the pour-in-place surface is in distress and at a point where we cannot patch it anymore. Before you is a proposed design for the new playground. It will be constructed exactly in the footprint of the current playground, because there is not any room to expand at that location without losing vital parking and recreational play space. Staff approached the bidding of this playground project using a reverse bid process due to the unique nature of the playground designs. In this situation, the bidding parties understood that $83,000 of this project's budget was available for the purchase and installation of the structure, including the surfacing. Each bidder was allowed to submit 2 designs that were then scored by members of the Parks and Athletics Council and selected town staff. 15 designs were submitted by 8 contractors or playground equipment providers, and the highest scoring design was submitted by Game Time with a score of 94 out of 100 and a price of $82,990. The Game Time design includes a unique feature that you can see up on the screen. that includes art and shadow play with those translucent panels that disperse the 7 colors of the rainbow throughout the play area. The equipment is suitable for children ages 2 to 12. The playground surface is engineered wood fiber, what you know as mulch, but it's a very specific type of mulch. Both the equipment and the surface meet ASTM and ADA requirements and are PEMA certified playground components. The Public Works Department will remove the current structure and the surface and subgrade, and if any pieces are salvageable, then we'll recommend that the current structure be declared as surplus property. The tentative completion date for the installation is late summer. Staff is recommending a motion to approve bids and award contract 2015-11 to Game Time for a price of $82,990, pending approval by the Recreation Educational Services Division of the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. Their approval is required as part of the grant process, for which the town received $43,000 to help fund this project, and that's from the 2014 Local Parks and Recreation Grant. Any questions?
This picture is not a photograph, is it?
No, it's a rendering. It's a graphic rendering.
I didn't think we had those kinds of trees in
Yeah.
in the park.
No.
Okay.
Is it available in flat black? Hurt my eyes here. It's pretty bright.
It is. It's very bright. It will draw a lot of attention, especially from Watt Road. I think it's going to be thrilling to a lot of kids and their parents.
Would you explain the ground cover? Did I understand that as a wood mulch? Is that
It's
correct?
what you would see as mulch, but it's actually a special kind of mulch called engineered wood fiber, and it has to meet ADA certification. So we will replace it just like you replace mulch occasionally. It will break down a little bit over time.
Depending on the weight requirements, I may even play on this playground.
I know. It is pretty cool.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And now it's the town administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. We've got 2 different events coming up. One is tomorrow night, the Chamber Auction. I know several of you are planning on going. That's at 6 o'clock at Rothschild's. That's their big fundraiser for the year. Should be a great event. And then on May 2nd, we have Art in the Park for Kids at Founders Park in Campbell Station. That starts at what time, Allison? 10? 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock out at the park. Looking forward to having a lot of kids out there, a lot of great activities that Allison's been working on with the Farragut Business Alliance. So should, again, be a great time for the family to get out there and enjoy it. So with that, that's all I have tonight, unless anybody has any questions.
That then, we are adjourned. But there's one more thing.